tonight we're playing the Troubleshooters from Helmgast. If you are interested in this actual play, or if you get any kind of entertainment value out of this actual play, I'm going to tell you to click on the link in the description of this video, because they've only got a few hours left on this Kickstarter, and I don't want anybody to miss out. This RPG is based on action adventure and European comics, so stick around. We are playing the Troubleshooters. Let me find my... Welcome to Victory Conditioning. Welcome to Victory Conditioning Gaming. My name is Doug. Today, I am excited to welcome Mitchell from Helmgast. Mitchell, thanks for coming on VCG.
Oh my gosh, so excited to be here. It has been a long-standing dream of mine to be on the show. And before I get too much of a fanboy, just happy to be here.
Well, I am so excited. I'm so glad that we were able to fit you onto the schedule. I know you only have a few hours left on this Kickstarter, but congratulations on the success of the Kickstarter. It's doing very well.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 1,000 backers, so hopefully we got a little ways to go, but I can't stress how amazing this game is, and you guys are about to find out, so it's going to be a real great treat.
Well, we're really, really excited. Let's introduce the players of this session. It is Margaret and Rob. Woo! And although Rob has gone dark, is Rob on there?
Rob likes to keep us in anticipation.
Rob likes to just kind of keep the lights off and then come back on. We'll introduce Rob in a second here. Once there he is.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Nice collection.
Well, he's got a nice pop collection there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Margaret, thanks for coming back on and doing another show with us tonight.
Yeah, I had so much fun on the last one, so now we get to explore Europe. By the sound of it.
Yeah. And Rob, as always, thanks for contributing and being a part of this actual play.
Thanks for having me.
Do we want to introduce our characters before we start? Or actually, you know what? Let's have Mitchell explain a little bit more about the Troubleshooters before we dive in. How about that? And you can kind of just gloss over maybe the roles, like what we're going to be doing, and so on and so forth. How about that?
That sounds perfect. Yeah, that's a great way to give us a nice splash. So the Troubleshooters is kind of based on the 1960s, 70s action-adventure comics such as Tintin. I know the creator has a favorite one. I totally am spacing on it now. But you kind of know the amazing comics where the adventurers are going about, and almost like spies, they're fighting criminal masterminds and mooks and lieutenants and stuff like that, and gallivanting all across Europe, exploring new realms in different places, and kind of having that cultural exchange. So Troubleshooters puts you in the place of one of these amazing people right on the get-go as you just kind of start off. It's a percentile system, which is super easy to get into, and it only took me about like 5 minutes to learn the whole system. It's super nice, efficient, quick, and has some really interesting difficulty things that we'll kind of explain as we play. And the art is amazing, so good. I'm really a fan of all the villain art too. So yeah, that's kind of the summary of the Troubleshooters.
Well, I'm really excited. I love, as soon as I saw the Kickstarter, the art just definitely drew me in, and I can't wait to see the actual like printed version of this book in my hands, because I think it's just going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I know the Christopher Sunderland, the creator, showed me kind of the proofs the other day, and it looks so cool, and I want to steal it, but I'll have to wait until it's all printed out.
Nice. All right, you know what I do, Mitchell? I just hand my show over to whoever comes on in GM's show, so I'm gonna condense my show down into a ball right there. I'm throwing it your way.
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
I'm not going to eat
VCGs,
it. So
It is in your hands now, my friend.
Excellent. So we are running for the first time on stream because I have been itching to run this, and it's so cool. We are running Escape from Mont Blanc. Which has a very interesting start. Normally, we usually segue into a lovely scene, but unfortunately for our 3 troubleshooters, that's not the case. You see, your latest adventure did not end well. You were looking for a missing train in the Alps and found a side track in a tunnel beneath Mont Blanc Massif. Unfortunately, you were discovered by the villains, who then stole the train and stole you as well. And you guys know that this organization is the mysterious criminal organization that kind of gets its tentacles in everything, known only as the Octopus. Kind of have to whisper that, or else they'll know. But you awaken in a prison cell, a nice rectangular little box with 2 beds, very thin, almost plastic-like mattresses, an air vent, a single toilet that doesn't look too good, 1 roll of toilet paper, as well as a shattered mirror. The door, which there was only 1 exiting this place, kind of stands on the other side of the room of the toilet, has the steel thick door, and you can kind of see the bolts are rusted on, and there is a little flap, almost like a little postal flap, where they can kind of push food over, as well as another bar around eyesight for them to kind of glare at you every now and then. But as our scene is set, the villains have been teased. We now gaze upon the heroes of this adventure as we go to each one of you, and feel free to describe your character, what you look like, what are you feeling right now, and just kind of how your day has been so far.
Would anybody like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You go first.
Rob, I think. What's that?
I said you go first.
Yeah.
All right. So I play. I'm playing Paul Marchand. I think is that how you pronounce it? I hope that's. Hope I'm not. I'm horrible at pronunciation, Mitchell. So
it's fine. I completely the scenario yesterday was based in France, and I know I butchered everything. So it's just it's part of the territory.
So I am probably in my late 30s, early 40s, and I purposely didn't shave this morning because I want to look kind of the part of this character, and I've kind of got the maybe the smoking jacket on, and I'm kind of I'm known as I'm a cat burglar is what I am, but I'm just gonna in the bed, really kind of bummed out that I only got caught, because normally I'm not this. Normally I'm known for not getting caught, and gotten away with quite a bit against a lot of other folks, and I can't believe my luck has finally run out. So I'm kind of in there with my head just thinking, what the heck went wrong? What am I going to do to get out of here now?
Excellent. All right,
yeah.
Who wants to be next?
I guess I'll go next after Monsieur Marchand's introduction. So I am Electra Ambrosia. I'm a professional rally car driver, and I'm used to being in the spotlight. I have to travel all around for races. I've been everywhere, and I'm used to the media always trying to get my attention. So being trapped in a tiny dark prison cell, very out of my element. I'm wearing, I guess, kind of like a racing jacket, and I have a thick mount of shiny black hair that's kind of going everywhere. And it's very much in my eyes right now as I'm slowly coming to in this prison cell. And yeah, right now I think she's pretty bummed out. She's used to things going her way, and the Alps adventure did not.
It did not, indeed. All right, Eloise. Rob, it is all on you.
Hello, my name is Eloise Gerard. I am a 16-year-old student. My mom sent me to boarding school because she likes to bang a lot of men. I have crazy red hair, lots of freckles on my face, and I like technology and inventing, and I very much like to sleep, which is what I'm enjoying, a nice nap.
Nice. All right. So after you guys are kind of organizing your thoughts, trying to figure out what happened and why are you here, you guys notice that the flap opens up and a tray of beans kind of skids across the floor and stops right in between the two beds. Which you also notice there's only 2 beds for 3 of you, so one of you is going to have to be on the paint peeled floor with the other scuttling rodents.
I mean, I will take. I mean, me being the gentleman that I am, I will let the ladies have the beds, and I'll be glad to sleep on the floor. But I'm hoping we don't stay here long enough so that we'll have to use these beds.
Yeah, I want to get out of here.
I'm very I'm getting kind of stir crazy just being caged in like this.
Yeah, it's definitely hasn't been the best time. And what kind of accents the point as you're kind of looking around and such is you hear these screams echoing through the hallway chambers. At first, they're kind of garbled up. These kind of just... And then you start to hear octopus, octopus, octopus. Almost cult-like chants coming from further down the hallway. But yeah, what do you guys do? What do you guys like? Yeah, that's troubling.
Yeah.
That can't be good.
So it's possible that we've been captured by and are now in a facility run by octopus.
Octopus, yeah. Can I use?
They're making
So you said
too much noise.
flap,
I cannot sleep.
we can't see out from the door. The door has like the little covering over it. Is that what?
Yeah, you can kind of, if you want, maybe get something to go underneath the bottom flap and then kind of put your head under to see. But yeah, the other mechanism is controlled from the outside.
Okay. I mean, I can look under here, take a look around if you want.
Can I help him look with maybe if I did like an engineering skill check?
Yeah. What are you thinking about doing?
I guess like helping. It's engineering, so I'd have to help you look around and maybe see if I can kind of figure out how that mechanism works.
All right.
It's a lot different than anything I've seen on a car, so it'll probably be pretty tricky for me, but I want to help out.
Excellent. So why don't you go ahead and give me an engineering test or a check? That sounds perfect. And what we'll do, since it's kind of out of your wheelhouse, we'll give you a -2 pip for that. So that means for the pip system's really cool. It either goes positive pip or minus pip, and basically if it falls within the parameters of the pips that you give, it's either a success or a failure, no matter where on the percentile system it is. So in this case, -2 pip, even if you got like a 2, which would normally be a success, it would be a failure.
Okay, so this actually goes into my complication, which is overconfident.
So you're going to use that to get more story points?
Yes, so because I get to take a -2 pip on this roll, I can gain 3 story points.
Excellent. So that is in addition. So you would be at a -4 pips, but you get no story points.
Okay.
You get that story points, and everyone started out for this special adventure. Normally it's 4. Everyone starts off with 9 story points.
9 story. Wow. Okay.
Because things are dire.
All right.
Okay. So I guess so it's a -4 pip roll on engineering where I'm at 65%. So I roll my percentage die. Just trying to go through things since it's the first roll of the session.
I know, right? So special.
All right, and I got a 61%.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and you said what was your percent in engineering?
65.
Yeah. Normally you would be completely good, but because that one falls between that 1 and 4, unfortunately you fail because of the difficulty.
I was just too confident.
But we are always failing forward. So in this case, let's say that you were able to kind of get the slight springs from the mattress and kind of elevate the flap so that it can stay open, allowing Paul Marchand to get down and take a look-see out. Though unfortunately, the moment you kind of give Paul the signal, you see 2 very shiny black shoes on the other end of this little panel, and then there's a slight knock on the door.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm gonna back away from the door, and wait to see who's in.
Excellent. So the door opens up after a few brief seconds, and on the other side, you notice, pretty much around the same age as Eloise, this girl with this popping blonde hair with all sorts of gizmos and doodads. It looks like her hair is a Best Buy. There's just so much going on. There's so much tech there. It is an IT person's fantasy just with her hair. She has these very thick glasses that make her eyes do that exploding look that it's almost like half of her face, and just kind of poking her head in this very nice lab coat with these purple gloves as she kind of pushes forward and she says, "Oh, oops. It looks like you 3 are waking up. Welcome. Welcome to the hideout, the chamber, living arrangements. You know what? We will just say this is your home away from home. All right. Is everyone comfortable?
Not really, but
I just say sulkily,
Pillow
no.
over my head.
No. Okay. I am conducting surveys with the prisoners, so do let me know on a scale of 1 to 5. How are the beds?
now is 1 good or bad?
We'll say that 1 is bad in this case.
All right. You want to tell her? Because I have 0. I rated a 0 because I have no bed.
Right, see.
I would give it the 3.
All right, 0 or 3. And how about you, famous race car driver Electra Ambrosia?
Say, you recognize me.
Of course. Who can not recognize one of the most famous women in racing? I've gained quite amount of money betting on your races. I'm a huge fan. And she kind of like pulls up her lab coat, and there's like a cartoon version of you on her shoulder.
I'm flattered and a little creeped out.
You are very inspiring. I think before this all ends, I would like maybe an autograph or 2. Maybe a still frame picture or a portrait of us hanging out.
I'm gonna say, well, you know me, I'm never one to turn down a photo op. But where are we? Are we still in the Alps?
In some retrospect, yes. Like every, I mean, of course, you will call it an evil lair, but it's not. It's just a lair. But it is deep in the mountains, and you almost caught me monologuing again. Sorry, I'm not going to tell you where in the world it is. Electra, you are clever. But anyway, everyone's doing fine. I hope you enjoyed und beans. I can provide spoons, of course, but one guy had an issue with the spoon. He basically tunneled his way out and then kind of had a poster over it. It hid for quite some time. So we're not giving you spoons. That's understandable. I feel that you would think so. Any questions for me?
What are we doing here?
Yes. So you were trying to, unfortunately, foil my plans. And because of that, I have kidnapped you as well as the rest of the passengers on the train. There I go monologuing again. You really didn't ask for that bit of information, did you? I'm sorry. You are my prisoners. Or really my guests. Let's put a positive spin on this. Yes? My guests. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you be quiet now? I am still trying to sleep.
I am very sorry. I will go ahead and leave, and you can continue on with your sleep. Do let me know if there are any questions. There are guards with very large guns right outside these doors. And yeah, it has been a pleasure speaking to all three of you.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
And with that, she kind of just segues out, looking at you on some motorized contraption under her shoes.
All right. So now that I'm awake because I was so rudely woken up. I am going to kind of slowly swing my legs out of bed and walk over to the toilet. Mm-hmm. And I would like to, I don't know if it would be engineering or investigation, but I would like to try to take it apart and see what I can use from inside the toilet.
Excellent. I will say for this, we can just do an investigation.
All right.
I was working on my toilet a couple weeks ago. I don't think it's that difficult, but it might just be a hubris.
Yeah. So let's see. My investigation is 75%.
Excellent.
And I rolled a 74.
That's it, right? 75 was your percent?
Yep.
Woo! All right, excellent.
Nice. That was close.
No, it was.
You bring yourself closer to this toilet. The fumes coming from it are quite potent. And the closer you get, it just gets worse. And you also see what could only be movement within the bowels of this horrible beast. But, you are Eloise. You have a job to do. And you won't let a poopy thing get in your way. So you are able to take parts of it off. So by the end of it, you have a coil, a chain link, as well as a little squeezy thing in the toilet. I don't know what it's called. Several screws, a toilet freshener. Yeah, it's mint flavored.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's about it. You can, of course, always add more via a story point, and based on how impressive or big it is, it will cost you more.
I would like to use a story point.
Okay.
Because I'm sure being such an accommodating place, they would want to make sure that they are conserving water.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a brick or a stone or something in the tank so as to not have it fill up with as much water.
I like it. Yeah. So spend a story point, and you have
All right.
a brick.
Okay. And I will just dump all this stuff unceremoniously in the middle of the cell. So the coil, the chain, the toilet bulb, the screws, the toilet cake, and the brick.
Now, I have an ability called Lock Picker.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pick the lock that we're of the door that we're trapped in?
Yes, you can.
All right.
It'll be just because of how difficult it is. I will put it at a -4 pip.
Okay.
But go at it.
So, but before Paul Marchand tries to pick the locks, do we have our gear kits with us, or has everything been confiscated by our captors?
You have everything that makes sense for you to have in your gear kits. I think some people might have a car. Obviously, you don't have a car in this space. But anything else you could probably put in your pocket, you still have.
All right. Does Mechanics Toolbox fall under that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but before you go picking the lock, is there anything in my Mechanics Toolbox that might maybe help make this roll a little easier?
Yeah, definitely. So, Paul, you can use a toolbox. In the toolbox, I do believe Electra provides a +2 pip. So those 2 pips come together, so you only have a -2 pip instead of the -4.
Okay. Here we go. That is a 62. I'm trying to find my what would I use for lock picking?
Security.
It is security. That is 75. So that is but no, it's a 62. So it's 2 pips. So that is a failure.
So you can, if you want, spend 2 story points to flip the dice. So you would get a 26 instead.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna spend a story point and I'm gonna flip it. Or 2 story points. You said, right?
Yeah, excellent. All right. So using kind of the wires from the toolkit and everything, because you can't like undo it from this side. You pretty much have to go underneath that flap that Electra helped you open and kind of almost like getting into a car, kind of jiggle around with the wire to unlock it. And you hear the customary click that resounds throughout the hallway, but you guys know it is now unlocked.
Ooh, all right.
All right. We did it.
I unlocked the door. Who's taking out the guards?
Can we see them from where we are? How many are there?
Yeah, if you go,
to, peek out.
So those who are trying to peek out, we'll just say one person. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
I do not have stealth.
Yeah, so it would be
I guess other skills.
Yeah, other skills.
Okay. This could be very bad.
Go, Electra, go! You got this.
You got this. You got
the worst that could happen.
All right. Oh no. So I rolled an 11%, and for all my other skills, I'm at 15%. So I am not stealthy.
Wait, you rolled an 11?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's under.
Oh, it's under. All right.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, nice. So you're able to peek your head out, and what you see down the hallway is there's a smoothie bar, almost like a little cart that you would wheel down in this long hallway filled with doors. There are currently 2 guards at said smoothie bar, and one seems to be trying to figure out if they want to go with pineapple or red flavor today. While the other one stands impatiently right behind. You know that the closest guard is kind of leaning back against the same wall that your prison cell is in, but he seems preoccupied with what looks like Sudoku. Or is it a crossword puzzle?
All right. So yeah, I'll whisper this information to my compatriots back in the cell, and I'm gonna say maybe we can sneak past them. They're all pretty distracted.
No. I think that's probably a good
I
idea.
think maybe what I can do is take the toilet cake and use my chemistry lab set to make some sort of smoke bomb or some nasty kind of chemical reaction to slide across the floor.
I think that's a great idea, Eloise.
Now, would that be science?
Yes, it would. That's science
right.
so hard right now. It's amazing.
I got 65%.
Oh, right.
So I rolled a 32. So
Woo!
I science this.
What does this look like as you slide it into the hallway?
So like I kind of take out my chemicals and like I carve like a little bit out of the toilet cake, which is pretty grody, and I kind of mix the chemicals in and then like give it just like a little spit so it starts to get the reaction going, and I slide it like I'm curling. Because even though I'm French and German, a little bit of that Canadian, influence there. As I slide the toilet cake down, and it kind of like erupts in this noxious vapors.
Yeah, you immediately hear like oh, what is this? Oh no, it's gas. Oh, I don't like this at all. Oh, it kind of has a cakey flavor to it. Hey guys, are you seeing this? No? Okay. I should probably check on the print, and then you hear like a body hit the floor.
All right. One
Excellent.
down.
Here's my toilet cake.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
exactly
try to use
what a reckless teenage scientist would do.
that. Yeah, if I try to do this with my own toilet cake, I'm gonna come after you. If it doesn't work.
So that's one out of. Would you say there's 3 out there?
Well, we heard one fall down, and there were 3 out there. There's the 2 at the smoothie cart, and then 1 distracted by Sudoku.
Yeah, if you kind of you can kind of poke your head out again, and the one who was in fact on which is a crossword puzzle fell and is currently drooling on the floor next to this vapor. The other 2 are still preoccupied, but they're several meters down the hallway.
Oh, okay.
They're still preoccupied with the smoothie. It seems to be a hard choice.
Wow, they're so distracted they didn't even notice that the Sudoku guy fell over.
Well,
Yeah.
if that guy can knock out and they don't even get out of here. And I open the door. I open the door and just kind of tiptoe, and you see like totally like very nonchalantly. I'm just going and just
Got like the Fred Rogers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, I guess I follow Paul's lead. I'm not as sneaky as him, but I'll try.
And just slouch my shoulders and like just drag my feet along, like following them. Like, oh,
Excellent. So yeah, you guys are able to clear kind of the doorway, and looking down the hallway to your left, you of course see the 2 individuals by the smoothie. To your right, the hallway keeps going down, but you do see on the right side that there is a elevator down the hallway.
I push the button for the elevator.
All right, you press it, and you kind of see that there's like this old style arrow that goes from 5 and then starts going down to 1, and then goes a little bit further down to where you are, to what looks like an evil basement was, like a little place card for evil basement, but someone scratched it off and just put basement.
They crossed off into totally normal basement.
Yeah, totally normal.
Not evil at
Instead
all.
of they crossed off evil and just wrote, totally
OSHA
normal.
approved basement.
Yeah, not evil at all.
I don't know who they think they're fooling.
The door opens, and you guys can see on the other side there is a gentleman, very large, who pretty much takes up about 3/4 of this elevator. He has a little bellboy hat on his head. And he's currently reading one of those like dime store novels, but it's hard to see the cover. He looks up and says, "Hello."
Hello, my good sir. Let's. We're going to the first floor.
Oh, for what reason?
We've got an appointment to. We've got a meeting we have to.
Oh.
With the young lady with the blonde hair. We're meeting.
Oh, is this for the marketing meeting?
Exactly.
It's a totally not evil marketing meeting.
That's right. The not evil marketing meeting. We're totally here to market the image for octopus, so that people don't know that we want to help them with their image. That's why we're the marketing firm that was hired.
Oh, okay. All right. Come on in.
All right.
And you kind of have to squeeze in. He smells a bit like honey. But kind of next to him, with a pencil, he pokes the number 1 on the elevator, and it shuts. You guys hear kind of do 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 boop 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 boom boom. As this elevator slowly goes up.
I try elbowing Eloise to keep her awake.
Oh, well, this looks like our floor. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We got that big meeting to go to. Have a great day.
Excellent. It's just right to the left, down the hallway, make a right. And then there's a secretary who will have you sign a sheet. Just make sure it's your real name. We've had some people put down fake names, and that's been an issue.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the water fountain's to the right. The break room is down there too. And yeah, you have yourself a good day, sir.
All right, thank you so much, my good man. All right, let's go right. Let's get to that meeting. Totally not evil meeting.
Yeah, so you go down. I assume the directions followed, and it kind of you approach this beautiful secretary desk that's kind of etched into what looks like the rock, and just beyond it there is instead of the rock being kind of all encompassing of the background, there looks like a fish tank. But instead there's piranhas and an octopus in there, and it's just all sorts of weird, crazy creatures. And even the piranhas look like they have these little contraptions on their head which shoot lasers.
Oh, no.
And yeah, the secretary is this bald man with this ugly scar over his eye. He is currently looking at a very large, what could only be a computer. It's just like taking up half the room and connected to all these little dials and things on the left side with several cords going up to it, as he's kind of like one finger clicking on this keypad, and he's looking at it frustrated. When he looks up at you, he says, "Ah, right, yeah,
We're here for the marketing meeting.
oh,
We're the outside firm that was hired by.
yeah, okay, all right. Oh, drop my pen. Okay. Let me take your names in, and I'll put it in the computer. What's your name?
I'm going to elbow Electra. Like, hey, Electra, what's your name?
Is it, Electra Ambrosia?
Well, Electra Ambrosia. You know, we have an Electra Ambrosia who's locked away downstairs. That's funny you say that.
Okay. I say, well, that's not the right Electra Ambrosia. I'm a famous racing driver. Of course you'd want to hire me.
Yeah.
I'll give the perfect, image of not evil.
Yeah, I don't really watch
Little
sports.
sweatbands, like slowly going down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I watch golf for the most part. All right. How about your two assistants there? What do we got here?
My name is Fromage de Souvermont.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna make an approximation here, and he kind of just. All right, I think we're good there. All right, and you, good sir, you have a very sly, almost like Catman look about you.
I don't know why you would say that. I mean, but my name is Steve.
Yeah,
that's it. Just Steve.
Steve?
Just put
All
Steve
right.
down. Yep, just
Okay,
Steve.
Got it. All right. Okay. So if you don't mind, you can just sit over there on the couch. We have several magazines that we recently subscribed to. There's a nice little cover there on how to make cupcakes with everyday objects. Yes.
You don't know if there is there a restroom or washroom that I really I have I have something I have to attend to.
You know what? I have the same problem.
Yeah.
Usually you got to drink more water. It really will help you. Too much coffee will also be a problem. Yeah,
Unfortunately, he has the enlarged prostate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, we should go see the same doctor. I know a guy. If you come to work here, this place has great healthcare. So, the doctor does great work for my prostate, and I know he'll do wonders with yours as well. Any case, if you just go down this hallway, you're going to see what looks like a cowboy, the open doors thing that was put in for morale. But that's the men's restroom. You can just use that. And of course we have a woman's, and we even have a family restroom, and a all-inclusive restroom. So anyone can just go to that other restroom. We try to, everyone's accepted here. So feel free to use whichever one you want. Make sure to wash your hands when you get back, and don't be too late. I tell you, that cupcake article, it changed my life.
All right. Thank you so much. I will. I'm going to proceed down to.
It's very progressive here. That was more German. Sorry.
Okay. I know my accent changes. Also, my chin hurts. So yeah, Paul, you go down and you see the silly cowboy, like
that's ridiculous. I'm going to go into one of the stalls and just maybe hopefully just kind of maybe hang out there for a few minutes to see if maybe anybody shows up and I can overhear something.
Ooh, nice. All right. So what are the other two doing?
I'm going to follow him in and take all the urinal cakes out of each and every urinal.
I'm going
Those are expensive.
Like, no shame, just walk in.
To hang around the door and keep watch.
Yeah, you like open up a stall with someone in it, and you're just like, "Can I?" Let me. It's okay. You don't need that. it's fine.
So I'm gonna go into the stall and I'm not gonna know I just hear somebody come in and I'm thinking, oh man, this is my opportunity to hear something, and all it is Eloise just fishing around for the cakes.
Oh god.
Give me the urinal cake from your toilet.
What are you doing in here? Oh, I'm
I
not
just told you.
fishing. I'm not fishing the cake out of my toilet. We're here for a mission.
Did you already do number 2?
No. I don't have to. It was just a ploy. Teenagers, I tell you.
I will take all of the cakes but the one in his stall.
Yeah, and so as you turn, kind of entering this restroom, and Electra, you would have, because you're kind of watching out down the hallway, you see 2 individuals who very much look like twins. They're very tall and very skinny with like this dark black hair and this very pale complexions. If they were born probably several decades later, they might have been cast as Edward in Twilight, but unfortunately it's the 1960s. They might not get that chance. But yeah, they are approaching the boys' restroom, which kind of.
Oh, man. How do I warn Merchant? Is this person like wearing uniform or anything else that stands out of their appearance?
Yeah, they're both wearing the exact same kind of black, almost dark purple uniform, and one has like on their lapel Dave, and the other one says David.
Okay. I guess I'm going to like just knock on the door to the men's room, and maybe they'll hear me. So if they know someone's coming. But other than that, I'm just gonna try to, play it cool, just waiting outside.
Yeah.
Hopefully
you guys hear that.
I'm just gonna stroll out with like 4 urinal cakes, like 2 in each hand. And just kind of like, like not even like just like open the door with my shoulder, like, and just like come out like nothing's happening.
Yeah, they kind of look at you, and then they look at the cakes, and they look back at you. You're wearing the wrong uniform.
I get to do what I want. Do not judge my urinal cakes. This is how I got started my life of evil.
Are you the janitor?
No, you fool! I am the chemist.
I'm so sorry. That's our bad. Hi, I'm Dave, and this is David. We really feel terrible about assuming such of you. Obviously, if you have something to do with cakes, we all have little things that we do to provide us happiness. And who are we to judge, really? Yeah. Carry on, and sorry again.
No, I think Rob might be froze.
I'm just gonna keep walking, like I know where I'm going.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah, and the 2 kind of come in, and Paul, as they're they seem to get kind of stalls right next to each other, and you kind of can look under and see the 2 similar legs, and they're still talking to each other despite their current conditions, and you can hear them over the trickling of a stream, so to speak. But yeah, they're talking about Dave is saying, it's I'm very excited about this new mind control beam, and then the other one says, I do believe Dr. Patrick said it's the brain control machine. I don't think we're allowed to call it the mind control machine. And the other one's like, I don't think it really matters what it's called. I think the important fact is that you shoot it at someone and an amazingly colored laser comes out, and then that person becomes willing accomplices into whatever evil endeavor we want. And then David says, I don't know why you're talking about this here in the toilet. I feel like this is kind of information you shouldn't. It's top secret, brother. Let's go talk about this elsewhere. Are you almost done? And then you hear several zips, and then the washing of hands. And of course, they use the blow dryer for the hand machine and head out.
Once I know that they've exited, I'm going to open the stall door and gonna think a little bit, and then I am going to wash my hands because it's gross being in the bathroom, of course. And it's always good to wash your hands. If you're listening to this, wash your hands. And I'm going to go to out of the bathroom, and I'm going to try to go back and find Eloise and Electra.
All right. So where is Eloise and Electra?
I just kept walking straight.
Yep.
So
I'm following her down the hallway. She's holding, 4
urinal cakes.
urinal cakes, and I'm trying not to be recognized.
So yeah, you walk past the secretary area, and the guy seems very preoccupied with the inputs of something onto this giant keyboard. Further down the hall, you see several more of these doors, and then even a large glass viewing screen, which looks onto what looks like kind of like a kindergarten play area. There's a bouncy castle, and there's several large blocks, but instead of children inside, you see several prominent politicians from around the world as they're kind of like hopping around on this bouncy castle and playing ball with one another, all the while saying, "Octopus, octopus," and patty cake. It's very surreal and kind of creepy.
I'm just gonna stop and stare at them.
Yeah. I'm just like, Eloise, are you seeing this?
At this point, I kind of see them, and I'm going to kind of pick up my pace and go to them. And right before I'll be like, "You'll never believe what I just heard. I heard," and I'll start to like talk to them, and then I'll notice that they're not really even paying attention to what I'm seeing, and then I'm going to look over and I'll be like, "Oh,
yep,
that's
Electra's
weird."
Out is open in shock. She says,
and Eloise is just grinning like an idiot.
Then after a while, she says to you, she says, I think is that the Belgian prime minister, and he's bouncing around. he's singing nursery rhymes. It's like he's posing for an editorial. What is this?
So, wow, this might have something to do with what I just heard. I heard that octopus is they've got some sort of brain control ray that they're working on. I'm wondering if maybe they've already experimented with it and used these folks as guinea pigs to test it out.
That woman,
or maybe they just like to play patty cake. I don't know.
Yeah, this is what they do all day. That girl from before, when you're in the cell, she did say that the other passengers from the train were imprisoned here as well. I wonder if Octopus wanted that train because all of these politicians were on it.
Oh.
If Octopus has a way of controlling the minds of all of these people like this, we're in for some trouble.
Absolutely. We should definitely do something about it. I wonder if we can find the mind control ray.
When those two men went into the bathroom, did they...
There's a sign that says mind control ray room.
Would it Now, a place wouldn't have a sign that would just say that would be that obvious, where it would just have a sign that says "Mind Control Ray Room" and like a big arrow on it.
Now that depends on if someone spends 2 story points.
I will spend
Their
2
signs
story
have been
points for
pretty
that.
obvious so far.
you kind of like, surely there's not, and you turn around and there's like a directory of the whole place, and then you see kind of like on the floor that you on, like entryway to brain control, and it looks like it's been scratched off, and then like mind control, and it's just kind of like over and over. Control
Totally
machine.
worth 2 story points.
Yeah.
I'll just point to it and look at Paul.
I'm wrong. I'm sorry. All
Stick
right.
the toilet cakes in my pockets.
I'm going to tiptoe and try to sneak my way to the even though there's no need for it, because but I'm still going to quietly try to go towards the and every once in a while I'll, like, lean up against the wall and like peek around a corner, and then
Right.
Eloise just walks
yeah.
like.
Excellent. So you guys are moving down the hallway, following the little signs that continue to point you in the correct direction. Eventually, you come across like several yellow poles, and then on the other side are 3 parked golf carts, and there's like this giant sign that says "Mind Control Systems," like 1.k miles further.
Yeah, we keep. I'm gonna keep going. Do I see anything along the way that might stand out?
I mean, other than like the golf carts, and like there's several speed bumps on the way over. You see some cameras that are pointed down the hallway as well. But kind of, yeah.
Are there any like uniforms that we could all? Can I spend some story points to get some uniforms so we can blend in a little bit better?
Yes, I will say for 2 story points, you can find them in the back of the golf cart. For 4, they actually fit.
Ooh, I don't need mine to fit.
No, they're totally not going to fit. They're totally. They're one of them's going to be like too tight, and then one of them's going to be too baggy. I don't care which one. But yeah, we find. I'll spend 2 story points on.
Excellent.
I'll totally go for the one where like the sleeves drag the ground.
Yeah. You look like a kid.
Mine will be like high waters. The pants will be like way too short.
Yeah. And mine, I'm actually wearing it over my racing jacket, so it just looks like a lumpy mess.
So
All right. So are you guys going to walk the whole way, or take one of the golf carts, or enjoy it at your leisure?
Let's take the golf cart. I'll drive.
This is gonna be awesome.
Do our uniforms say anything on them? Do they have names on them?
They do.
Awesome.
And I want each of you guys to come up with silly names for whatever's on your lapel. I think it would be perfect.
Mine is probably going to be Florence.
Nice.
Mine is Raoul.
Nice.
And mine says Geneviève Bruno, Director of Evil Janitorial Services.
I like it. Definitely. Excellent. So you hop into the golf cart, and of course it has the keys just kind of in the ignition. You start it up, and man, this is the saddest sounding engine you have ever heard. It just kind of goes, and you start to move forward, gaining some speed. It's really like this is just kind of like
Say, oh, it's almost like walking would have been faster.
All right. So why don't you give me a vehicles test
All right.
at +2 pips because it is a golf cart and you're going pretty slow.
Okay. So I rolled a 94. And my vehicle's at 75%.
Ooh.
All right. I love this. This is great. This is perfect. This is perfect. So maybe you're just kind of bored with this whole thing, preoccupied with something else. This is nothing you've ever driven before and probably won't ever again. As it moves forward, you kind of have this lackadaisy, like back and forth, back and forth. And then you hear police sirens. This little whoop, whoop, whoop. And you see this other golf cart kind of come out from this enclave against the wall as it pops out and kind of goes by you. And each of you guys are going like walking speed. As this guy pulls out this megaphone and says, "Hello? Pull over. Pull over."
Electra, you should probably pull over.
Yeah, I can't outrun him in this thing, and I pull over.
Floor it.
Floor it.
Say, Eloise, we can't. I was flooring it. This thing's nothing like the Lancia.
Is this golf cart electric or does it run on petrol?
It is electric.
It's electric. I would like to use my my electronics toolkit and some engineering and try to jury rig this thing to give it a little bit more juice.
Excellent. I'll even give you a +2 pip if you give me a maniacal laugh while doing it.
Oh, I will totally, as I roll up the gigantic sleeves and give it the and oh no. I rolled an 80 and my engineering is 45.
Oh
no. But I can
you can flip it for 2.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna flip it for 2. My story points are just going out the window now. I am down to 4 now. My 80 becomes an 8.
Excellent. Which is brilliant because it looks like from the smoke coming from the engine, and you're like about half a second away from making this thing explode like the bathroom cakes. But then you're like, okay, no, I put this in here. Okay, we got it. And Electra, you are kind of floored back into your chair as this thing just shoots off.
Now my sleeves are just like
yeah, it's like wah! And you hear in the distance behind you, "Hey, you're going too fast past the speed limit. I need backup now." And you see him just trying to like pressing the gas as hard as he can, trying to get this thing to. But you guys are easily going 3 times as fast as someone walking.
All right. Well,
nice.
I'm used to fast cars, so can I do a vehicles check to keep control of our?
Yes, go ahead, do it.
Golf cart. All right, and I rolled a 49, and my vehicle's a 75. So.
Nice.
We are good.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of you've learned through your own experiences and your experiences with various golf carts that speed bumps can at times not be a hindrance, but in fact can be very fun. So you hit it the right speed as you like fly over and like a dolphin in the water, you just keep going on the speed ramps like woo, woo. Yeah, and as you're doing this, like several police cars are like coming at you from the front, and some poke their way out of different enclaves, and they keep like smacking into the wall as you just kind of go right over them. But yeah, there is also a music player on the golf cart. What are you guys listening to? What's your jam?
I'm gonna have it turned to a Greek rock station.
Nice.
Like super cheesy old school rock and roll, and it's all in Greek.
It's like a Beatles cover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Greek. I love it. All right. So you eventually get to this place, and it is huge. We're talking easily several stories tall. And kind of like the picturesque look of the criminal mastermind, where you see the giant rocket in the center with these stands all around it, so people can kind of work on various sections going up. Except it's not a rocket; it is a giant smiley face. Very large and hanging on several threads that are kind of like keeping it tethered over what could only be the remnants of a volcano, as you see several like lava flares burp up from the pool from down below. This smiling face has two little like antenna poking out of its eyes. And just as you arrive, because it should always be cinematically appropriate, you notice the eyes kind of connect together and shoot this large beam of green and purple towards this person who's strapped in the chair right in front of it. And the person's like, "No, octopus!" And then there's a maniacal laughter. Oh. Someone as several guards are kind of going around, and one like says hello as you guys kind of get to this area. Bum, bum, bum. What do you do?
What do we do?
Is there anything else suspended over the smiley face, or is just the smiley face over the volcano, and then the person?
There are several kind of this, like the window cleaner little ramps and stuff. There's several of those that are kind of being lowered down, and people are kind of like fine tuning things and welding. You also see like this giant computer off to the side, kind of on the same circular area that you're on. With like, it looks like about 50 scientists pressing various buttons and looking very scientific. Super science.
You know what we should, Eloise. What we should do? You still got those cakes, right?
Yes.
We should create some sort of explosion with the cakes, so that we can destroy this machine, because we can't have them mind controlling all these influential people of the world.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I got 4 toilet cakes.
All right.
Take the cakes, right?
Yeah.
Say, you're going to take the screws from the toilet. I'm going to put it in the cakes and squish up all the cakes together to form like a ball.
A mega
right?
cake.
It's like a mega cake with some of my chemicals, right?
Or a 3-tier cake.
I am going to I'm gonna attach the chain, the toilet chain, to this, right? And I'm going to use the toilet coil, so I can pull it back and launch this cake / pipe bomb at the machine to explode, and the screws will act like shrapnel.
Excellent. All right.
It's
why don't you
amazing.
give me a science test?
All right, here we go. Science. I got science 65. So let's go. I got
Put, like,
17.
We should put like Amazon links to bathroom cakes. Like things you can do.
Yeah. Don't try this at home.
So yeah, this is crazy. As you just go, woo, and this cake flies through the air, and hits this giant smiley face, And you see its eyes kind of blink, like with some LED lights, and look at this little contraption that's sticking out of its face. And then you hear one of the scientists say, "No!" as it explodes out, taking a chunk of this giant ball, as several of the tethers on it snap free, and it kind of like tips over a little bit and smacks part of the other columns. You see guards like doing the Wilhelm scream as they go plummeting to unfortunate knockout. But it is still up. You can kind of like it's taking some damage, and it's definitely not usable within the foreseeable future, but it's still kind of tethered and definitely something that they could salvage. But you have attracted everyone's attention as all the guards and scientists look at you. And you hear as the same girl who you saw earlier, who kind of visited you, gets up on top of one of the computers, points at you all, and says, "Get them now!" as everyone races towards you.
Can I try to jump our golf cart if there's enough urinal oomph left? Can I try to jump it up onto the platform?
Yes,
if
you
I
can.
If I spend two story points to make a car stunt possible in the scene.
Yes. All right. Give me that
Nice.
vehicle roll. Let's see this amazing thing happen.
All right. Oh no! No! I rolled a 32.
Woo! There
woo.
we go. Yeah. So this is Mario level craziness as these different platforms, which are being like kind of going up and down via these tethers from up above. You go up on this ramp and you hop onto one of these platforms, and you just keep going up and down, and it feels like you're about to crash as they continue to move, with the guards kind of jumping out of your way as you do. Where are you headed to? Because you can kind of go up the ramp and get onto the other levels, or even smack into this giant smiley face. What are you doing?
The smiley face. It seems like Eloise's improvised toilet cake nail bomb was able to do quite a number on the smiley face. So I resisted temptation to do a rally turn into it, and instead I'll jump us up onto the second level.
Excellent. So you guys have a kind of head start away from the guards, and this kind of column area just kind of wraps around and keeps bringing you up this volcano mountain. But unfortunately, Electra, it seems like they have brought something other than golf carts to this shindig. And as you look behind you, you know that you see several of these almost Mario Kart style villain vehicles, with these almost raised rocket launchers on either side as they kind of go as they racing towards you. Bum bum bum.
Let me think here.
And while they are thinking, give me another vehicle roll at -2 pips as one of these rocket launchers flies through the air, aimed toward the golf cart.
Okay, so I rolled a 23.
Mm-hmm.
And at -2, I think I'm still safe with vehicles of 75.
Yeah, you are perfectly fine. You're able to do a barrel roll and dodge one of the missiles as it goes past you, smacking into the side, and you kind of can hear a rumble from the volcano. What are the rest of you guys doing?
That's not good.
I'm going to. I've got it says that I have a disguise kit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put on a really bad-looking mustache, and I'm going to go over to one of the terminals and pretend to know what I'm doing. And I'm going to try to download as much of this the schematics of this mind ray as possible, so we can have it for I can. So maybe I'm not gonna take the schematics and sell them to another evil organization, but if I find the right buyer, it might I might be able to make some money off of this.
Yeah, maybe the UN wants it. Who knows?
Exactly.
Is it transferring onto like a little micro cassette tape?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like a cassette tape flash drive, except
you have to overwrite your copy of the Bee Gees, but this is worth it. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me a sneak roll? And your disguise kit, I think, gives you a +2 pip.
I don't see that anywhere.
Let me see. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it does. Yep. +2 pip. Yep. That's a 48, so that is below.
All right.
65. So yes.
Yeah. So as Electra is kind of racing past the computer area with all the nerds, you put on a mustache, roll up into it, and one person says, "Hey, Jerry."
I just kind of and I start.
I'm here.
Yeah. It's totally normal.
Yeah. So yeah, you put in your floppy disk or your cassette tape of the Bee Gees, whatever it might be, as you start kind of typing in and getting everything to do a copy on there. One of them approaches you and says like, "Hey, Jerry, I noticed you're doing some stuff on the computer, Jerry. Aren't you off today?"
The boss called me back in, so I.
Oh yeah, of course.
I have to run schematics. They're having some issues with the ray.
Yeah,
as we like to call it. We call it some people call it the mind control ray, brain control. We just call it the ray now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he keeps telling me these things that we know. Or it's very reaffirming to hear you to say these sorts of things. But yeah, Jerry, how about your wife? Is she okay with you being here on a weekend, buddy?
Well, we're kind of having some issues,
Jerry.
So I thought
so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why I came into work. I'm just trying to work through it.
Yeah, and what a day too. There's this these people who are just. Did you see that?
Crazy. I saw that.
Yeah,
that was pretty insane. Like what's up with that?
It was. It definitely scared some of the interns. So we're gonna have to find some new ones.
Man, those are hard to find.
Yeah, Jerry, it doesn't look good for our occupation. Dr. Patrick is going to be angry, and I was really looking. Yeah, I know. I was really looking forward to kind of closing out my 401k, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year, Jerry. No.
No year-end bonuses for us this year.
Yeah, I know. Christmas is just gonna be tragic. Any case, did you need any coffee? I'm gonna go grab some.
Now. You know how I like it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Lots of cream and sugar. Barely coffee.
That's right.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. And you know what? You're worth it. I don't care what she says or what's happening outside of life. You're worth it, Jerry. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
It's coworkers like you that make this job worthwhile.
Oh, Jerry, it's you complete me. So I don't want it to get weird. Let's just stay co-workers, okay? Let me get your coffee, all right?
All right.
He shuffles on off to the coffee machine, and about this time you see kind of like the little thumbs up from the LED lights indicating that you indeed have all of this information on a little floppy disk.
Awesome, and I'm just going to stick it in my my jacket pocket very discreetly so nobody sees that. And all right, I have a feeling that like the glue from my mustache kind of like falls down, and I have to like kind of keep like pushing it up. So
yeah. So Eloise and Electra, you kind of see them continuing to go up this volcano, wrapping around. So they're about like a column above you. But you see some elevators, some stairs too, if you feel like any physical exercise, or maybe you're just gonna stick around with these people. I mean, whoever that guy was, he was very very pro you.
Yeah. Paul Marchand is just so charming.
Yeah.
How many people are following us on and what are they riding?
They are riding what looks like Mario Kart go-karts, and there's
That's
about
right.
5 of them behind you, and they're kind of shooting these rocket launchers at you, which so far Electra has been very good about dodging, but who's to say she can keep this up forever? Do you have an idea, Eloise? Does it involve bathroom cakes?
I am out of bathroom cakes.
Oh, man.
But it does involve just dropping a brick.
So you're just gonna like
just drop the brick behind us, and hopefully one of our pursuers will hit it. Just hope to get lucky. I got this brick. It's useless to me. I'm just gonna drop it.
So just gonna keep like cause a pile up. One of them like
Yeah.
So why don't you? You're scientifically minded. You can try to like formulate where best to drop it and how
There
and
you
what
go.
angle. So go ahead and roll a science.
That is a 24, and
Woo!
my science is 65. So just
All right.
Bloop.
So there are 5 vehicles following you. So why don't you roll a d6 and we'll see how many of these vehicles are not able to get past this deadly brick.
All right, 3.
All right, perfect. Yeah, it's just the way you throw it on the ground. It hits the first go-kart. It just goes spinning off. The brick cracks, and then like pieces of it roll across the floor. And you see 2 others like fly through the air with some explosions as the it looks like there's pretty good safety systems in there, because as these explosions occur, you see like the guards wrapped in like these little bubbles as they plop around, bouncing down the column.
I'd love just as they're exploding is when Electra hits like a nice jump.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like that slow-mo, like we're in air. And
you're like,
Wrestling control of my urinal cake powered golf cart.
yeah, you're like, ah! So there are 2 more vehicles coming at you, and they're kind of gaining speed. So Electra, why don't you give me another vehicles test at -2 pip?
All right. So that's 64%.
I think that's successful. Yeah.
Yeah, out of 75.
Woo! All right. So just as
Man, on fire.
yeah, it's kind of that typical where you see the 2 vehicles on either side and they look like they're about to ram into you, and you just kind of slam the brakes. It's a like smash, and there's explosions, and you guys go right through the fire, some of it catching onto Eloise's hair, kind of scorching the side of it as you come off the other side. In this glorious moment, and Paul, you just are like watching this from afar, like what the?
It's amazing. It's an amazing sight to see.
Yeah. So what are you doing, Paul?
I am trying to make my way up to where they're at, so hopefully we can get back together.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so there's an elevator not too far from there, which is probably the quickest route up. Okay. You go on over, press the button, and you see the same gentleman there. He's currently still reading his novel, and he looks at you and says, "Hello, Jerry."
Hello. I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I'd like to go up, please.
All right. How far up and how fast?
Let's let's get there pretty quickly. How far does this go up?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a button on the elevator that says all the way. I've never pressed it before, but I know there's safety goggles associated with it.
Let's not go all the way. Let's go all the way, and I'll put on the safety glasses. This is the safety goggles, and let's do it. Today's the day, sir.
You press the button, he puts on his and puts his book down. You notice this very well-toned man on the front of the book, and it looks like he's holding a rose up towards a unicorn as he places his book on the ground. And he's like, all right, let's do it. And there's a rumbling as the elevator shakes, and then at top speed shoots up. You can barely see, and it's kind of like the end of Willy Wonka as everything just kind of, and then you burst from the gravel as you shoot up right into the air. And your friend's looking around like, whoa, I didn't know it could do that. I hope there's an umbrella or something, maybe a parachute. So you guys are just kind of like plummeting back towards the earth.
Towards the volcano.
Interesting. Okay.
We better think of something.
What are you gonna do, Paul?
So I have this ability called Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I would be like very, I'd be kind of shocked by this, but I would like to spend 2 story points to find a button that says emergency parachute. So
Excellent.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be looking, be like, hey, what's that red button right there in case of emergency? Press that.
And like right above it, there's like a picture of a stick person like splattered against the ground.
Yeah.
There's like an X on it, so dictating if that's not what you want, then you should press this button. So you just kind of press it, and the little chute pops up, and then there's confetti and like a little flag that says "Congratulations, you're gonna live." As your friend kind of claps, like, "All right, I like that. It's very fun." So Electra and Eloise, you guys are now kind of free, but you notice as you're coming up that these large doors are slowly closing. Who's to say if you'll get there in time? So this will be a combination test. So
right.
Eloise, you do science or engineering to kind of give it the boost this needs, kind of getting the last amount of power from this I want to say birthday cake, but it's a toilet cake.
All right, I'm gonna go with science for me.
Excellent. And Electra, you are driving it. You got to get into that little. This is the biggest driving you can do with a manual. And this art, you can do it. Make the check.
All right.
And also, everyone's at -2 pip.
Oh
Okay.
no! So I got, unfortunately, a 77. So I can't even flip it.
Oh, that is what's called a bad karma roll. So whenever both of the numbers are identical, if it's success, it's good karma. If it's a failure, it's bad karma. So this is going to be pretty bad. And your next roll is at a -2 pip, regardless. Alexa, what do we got here?
All right, so I rolled a 95, which is also bad. But I have the Born Behind the Wheel ability, which lets me flip a task check to handle a vehicle for only 1 story point.
Excellent.
So I'm going to try to use that to turn it around to a 59.
Perfect. Yeah, like Eloise is working this contraption, and more smoke continues to come out of this. You can barely see as you kind of have to use the force, as it were, trying to imagine the trajectory of your car and the closing doors. As you never exactly pick up speed, but there's kind of like almost like a coughing of jerking forward from this golf cart. As you feel like a wheel falls off from behind, and then another wheel, and like pieces of this thing are falling apart. And when it is all said and done, as you guys clip right through the door as it shuts, you guys are just on 2 chairs with the steering wheel right in front of Electra, with the kind of like the little Hawaiian dancing person on the
that's still
dashboard. Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, that vehicle is gone, and Paul, you can see them just kind of
Come
bounce
to a
off
stop.
the box. It's there. But yeah, your little parachute rests down, and then the guy inside says, "All right, Jerry. I don't really know how to get back inside, so goodbye."
See you next time, and I'll like my you can tell that my mustache is like kind of like half hang on, and I'm gonna push it back up and walk out and rejoin Eloise and Electra.
Would you like some glue, Jerry?
Oh, do you have some glue?
Yeah, of course I have glue.
Yeah, I would love to have some glue. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
And kind of like puts
so
a little
so
bit
the, yeah, I take my mustache and I kind of glue it and.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
don't
much.
worry about it. A lot of us like to put on the mustaches to look a little bit more villainous.
Absolutely.
They used to call me Babyface.
I tell you, some of the people here, they're evil.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry. Bye.
See you later. And I'm going to join Eloise and Electra.
All right. So yeah, so far you guys have escaped from prison, and as far as you're concerned, it looks like the contraption is down for the time being. But you know that your troubles have just begun. What you had just witnessed was an empire of evil. And it's still present, like right behind this door. So as we kind of close off this session, I want to kind of zero in on a couple of days from now on what each of you guys are doing as you kind of either move on with your life or try to formulate a plan to get those other prisoners out. So we'll start with Paul Marchand.
I am kicking back, and I'm on like a beach somewhere drinking a frosty beverage, and I take out my flip phone, the brick flip
the
phone,
giant,
the giant, and I hear I'll bring the schematics. I think we've got. I think I've got 2 other agents that can help with this. You got the money. All right. Yeah, we'll make it happen. And I close it up and I put it in my pocket, and I lean back. I put my shades on and be like, "Yeah, we'll take down Octopus this time."
Oh no, you didn't whisper it.
I didn't. I totally said it out loud too.
Dun, dun, dun.
And just at that time, the cabana boy, like as soon as I said octopus, he like looks over at me and glares at me like totally super villainous, like he's behind it all.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to go reach for his flip flop and throw it.
Exactly.
All right, Electra, what are you up to?
All right, so Electra, after escaping from prison, is now back at the garage, and she's busily working on the Lancia. It is the most specialized, top-of-the-line sports car, whatever kind of crazy Ferrari-like contraption you're imagining. That's how it looks. And she's been trying to work on a way to use urinal cakes in the engine, really that competitive edge that she's looking for. And then she gets a phone call from Mr. Paul Marchand.
Excellent. Yeah, and it's kind of like, what do you say in response to this endeavor of going back into the bowels of evil?
Well, she saw all the politicians there. Everyone else was on the train, so she's up for round 2. If she could only get this car working right, it worked so well during the adventure. But I don't know, man. There's just no one who can make a toilet cake work as an engine like Eloise.
Yeah. And speaking of Eloise, we kind of zoom in on her. What is she up to?
So it's kind of, she's back at St. Catherine's boarding school, kind of in her dorm room. It's like a close up on her face. She's sleeping, kind of like red hair everywhere, just like drooling. But like as it pans out, like her entire room is just like there's stacks of urinal cakes everywhere. And kind of like her roommate is like huddled up on her bed, like with her knees like pulled into her chest. And she's just
Oh no. Eloise, we're losing you.
No, we'll never find out.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so the phone's ringing and she's just sleeping and snoring through it.
Nice.
Oh man. And so for kind of like the finale, we see Dr. Patrick, as it were, that same blonde-haired girl with the lab coat, as she turns around, and sitting before her is the same man who was so nice to Jerry. And she looks at this man and says, "Are you ready to take your vengeance on Jerry?" And he gets up, and his arm kind of expands to shoot out this gout of fire from his hand. He's like, "Yes." Dun 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 dun. And that is the Troubleshooters.
Awesome. That was awesome.
That
That was so much fun. Thank you so much, Mitchell, for coming on and running this session. It's a great system. I'm going to tell folks, if you're listening to this on the podcast or the radio show, or watching this after the fact, click on the link in the description of either the podcast or the video. I'm assuming people are maybe going to get a chance to start. Is there going to be any kind of late pledges or any
There
kind
is.
of if folks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So after the pledge is done, which is about, I think, 34 hours, we should have the pledge manager definitely up within the next few weeks. It's definitely something we are super excited about, and we know people want to hop on even after, because there's so much amazing stuff with the Troubleshooters, and we know you'll love it.
Oh, it is amazing, and I can just tell that this will be so much fun to play at a convention or just getting together on a fun Sunday afternoon and playing with your friends. I'm going to tell folks to go check it out. If you're watching this after the fact, go check it out. I'm sure it's probably going to be available online too, and just pick it up. I want to thank Rob and Margaret for coming on and being a part of this actual play. You guys were awesome. Thank you for giving me part of your evening. Mitchell, we'll have to have you back on again when that was, you did such a great job, and that was so entertaining. Please, whenever you have a project, or even whenever you want to play a game, feel free to reach out, and we'd love to have you on.
Excellent. You got it. I had so much fun here. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, I'm going to tell you one other thing. If you enjoyed this actual play, hit that like button down below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification that'll let you know every single time we either go live or upload new content. And that, of course, helps us with the YouTube algorithms as well. And we really appreciate, and we love showcasing all sorts of RPGs, especially like this one from Helmgast, the Troubleshooters. All right, be safe, be well, and remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.